long as I'm still learning charting, it's the same thing
Mm-hmm.
because it's still the
Mm-hmm.
charts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all the same, man. No matter what time frame you're on, no matter what, it's like obviously the bigger the time frame, the more respect you're gonna have for those levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the same thing. I don't care if you're on a monthly, daily, 5 minute, the chart is a chart. So if you go down here to the daily time frame, all right, you're at 595, right? So now you kind of get a clear idea of where your supports and your resistance are at. So right
Look,
here,
look at
oh,
that
go ahead.
candle. My goodness.
Hmm. You said what?
Look at that. Look at that candle. That bearish candle. That joint is crazy.
Yeah,
That's
that's
FOMC, all right.
yeah, that's why. Remember that day I was like, hey, um, when I was like later, it was I like because you could see it from here, because you could even see it from the day before.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it went here, and when it started struggling, even when they came out with the rate decision, like you could kind of see it happening. You could see it happening here because it got up here to about the 603, 604 level, and that was it. I think we end up getting out like what here, I
Yep.
think, and yeah, that was it. So,
Dang, I
but
remember
like,
you kept saying, you kept going back and looking at that contract, like, man, that joint is still
mhm,
dropping.
it's still yeah, because you don't have because once it start losing support, man, like you don't have nothing but room to the bottom. That's why it was such a big play. But like now you could actually see it, lining up, right? So you got that area that you lost. It dropped below that trend line. It attempted here once, twice, went over, but you didn't even have a whole lot of volume to really do a whole lot.
Nope.
Got to that same 602, 603 level and did what? Came right back down. So now you can't you can't be convinced that this is going much higher until it gets up here, breaks and holds.
Through that, yeah, through that area of supply.
Yeah, you can't. So, and the chart's telling you that. Look at all the, you got a bunch of movement up here, but all these candles that form a week, even the one on Friday, like, yeah, not Friday, Thursday, it went up there, hit that level, came right back down. And then, as long as you don't have a daily close over that 603 level, all you got to do is play it to the downside. Just wait. And that's it. And again, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm not going nothing calls until it gets up here and closes, like actually closes day up here. Like you can play little scouts and stuff like that until it gets up here, or just wait for it to do its thing down here under 591, 590, and then ride that back down. Obviously, you can see that that's a big support level here. So that's how I'm gonna play that. But I'm gonna look at QQQ too, and I'll show you what the QQQ futures look like too. So that's all right. My bad. Hold on. MQ. Yep, right here. All right. So this is the futures for QQQ, and it should look just like your QQQ chart, but your numbers are a lot bigger. All right. So same thing here. You got one one level of resistance, two that broke that, and then obviously FOMC brought it down, right? So if there's any type of upside continuation, it have to be for me. It have to be over like this 21,730 ish mark. Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for it to come to the downside. But then you're getting close to the point where this thing is gonna start. It's gonna have to make a decision here, probably around the time of like right the first or second week of the new year. Because you're getting to the point now where this is going to either squeeze up or it's going to, reject down. Um,
It
you
went
know,
up there. It tested that trend line, got
uh,
rejected. So we knew if it ever came back, it was going to blow through the air.
yeah. So, this one I think is, I think it's more likely to have a lot more movement than like your SPY is gonna have, at least this for the next couple of days or so. Just because, like I said, it's here, it's getting to that point where something's gonna have to happen. So with this, all you gotta do is wait. You can wait till it gets out here to the first week of January, kind of see what happens, or you can just kind of watch price action and see what happens from there. But um, this one I think is gonna have the bigger move, like down the line. So um, let's see. So you got, like I said, you got a line here, here, resistance here, here. It broke here but couldn't hold. Came up here again, retested, and now it's just sitting there at that support line, or that support line. So like it could very well, break from here, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening tomorrow, or like even Tuesday. Like maybe, like I said, maybe sometime next week. So you can wait for it to kind of decide on what direction it's going to go in, and then kind of have a stop loss down here if you're going for calls. Or you could wait to see if it's going to break down here below this line, and then you know, ride it down. But that's how I'm looking at it on QQQ. So then I'll actually go to QQQ so y'all can see that too. All right, I still got my chart marked up from last week, so let me get rid of some of that crap.
What time frame is this right here?
This is the daily.
Oh, I see a little more action.
All right, so let me get rid of that order block. That way y'all can actually see the wait a minute. I might have two of them going at the same time. What? I don't know why that didn't disappear. Oh, because that's my actual line. That would explain it. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hide all my I'm gonna hide everything. And that way you could just focus on the chart, right? So if you start and you draw your trend line here from here to here, you could obviously see what you got. You more than likely got a rising wedge that's happening. Yep. All right. So that looks similar to the futures chart, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So same thing here. So right now with QQQ, at least you're in the kind of in a no man's land. So you can wait until it gets back down here to like the 510 area
Mm-hmm.
and see if it'll bounce or reject from there. Or you can you could wait till it goes back up here. But in the meantime, you're obviously in a range, right? So you could even say, okay, above 525, I could ride this to 530 and then wait for a reject. Or
Pull
don't
this out a
have
little bit, D.
hmm?
Pull this out a little bit. I just want to see the prices on the right side.
Which way you want me to go?
I think the price is on the right, right?
Yeah, mine's on the right.
Yeah. I just want to see the prices on the right side so I can know where we.
Okay. Let me see. Let me make it easier. I'm gonna actually move it over to the left. Can you see it now?
Nope.
No? See, I'm a lefty, man, so it's like easier.
Oh, wait a minute, D. My fault. I'm tripping.
Uh,
I had my
okay.
screen zoomed in. My bad.
All right. Hold on. Let me see. Let me move it back over. Okay.
Yeah, you can move
All
back
right.
to perfect. That's perfect.
All right. So Friday you closed at 522.50, right? And the next point of support is that 525 level. So I'll put the moving average on, and you can see
It's right there.
we're hmm?
Right there.
Yeah. So your thing has to be okay. In order to move higher, this has got to see over 525. Because even here, yeah, if it's over 525, then you can run this up to 530. And then at that point, you probably be waiting for a reject.
Green is the what? The nine?
That's the nine. So yeah, you'd have to get above, break and hold above 525 for it to move higher. Or below 520. 520 and 517, 518 is probably a better downside move that you can ride down to even 513. And that's a big move.
Yeah, that's a big fall.
Yeah. So right now, obviously, you're in the middle. So as long as you know and understand that if you trade QQQ, you're trading within this range, you got what 539 to like 513. As long as you know that you're playing within this range, and understanding that whatever moves you do are going to be kind of like quick in and out moves. Like I'm talking like maybe a quick scalp or like a couple of hours or whatever. Because once you start getting here, and you can see the resistance here at
Yep.
530, long as you understand that, then you at least know your risk. But that's how I would play it. Like I'd play it to here. I'm gonna go ahead and cash out at this 530, 529, 80 area, and I'm gonna wait for the reject. But if you want to go ahead and ride it up, as long as it's over 525, you should have a $4 move, and that's gonna be a 4-to-1 risk to reward. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I'm gonna play QQQ if I decide to trade that. So all right, you want to go over IWM?
Yes.
Uh,
I got
cool.
I got that charted already though.
All right. So all right. So this is the futures for IWM, right? RTY. All right. So I'm going to get rid of. I got to bring something back up here. Hold on. OB. No. Order block. Where is it? All right. Hold on. Yep. Got it. All right. So we're gonna go back to the weekly time frame on this one. And this whole area, this whole shaded area right here, this is all bearish order blocks. I'm gonna go back and change the color on these. So um, right now, like IWM it's been having a rough way to go because it gets up to this level right here and it'll start rejecting. And honestly, the way this looks from a weekly time frame, this look like it's setting up for like a bear flag type pattern. It hadn't happened yet, but it looked like it's about to happen here. And what it looks like is going to get up to this level right here, this 2330 level, and then probably come down from there. And if you like measure this out, this is probably this move. If this, like, say this week closed out and it's closed out here, that's still going to be right like a little less than 50% retracement, right? Of this whole move right here. I'm talking like over the past month, right? So even if this gets here, if you measure this out, this ain't gonna be half of this move, right? So you see where I'm coming from when I'm saying that? Oh, you muted. You're muted. Oh, you might be on the phone. All right. So okay. So yeah, this will be half of yeah, this won't even be half of this a retracement of this whole move over the last month.
D, my fault. I was talking on mute. My bad.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I was like, I said maybe you're on the phone.
Nah, I was talking on mute. What I was saying was, I'm just looking at the volume. That push down,
Mm-hmm.
way above average volume. And then when I look at the buyers try to come in, they couldn't even reach average volume. So I know
Exactly.
that this is like I can see that possible bearish pattern forming on a week. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at the weekly on mine.
Mm-hmm. So with this, all you got to do is, if you're patient, all you got to do is wait for it to get to this 2330-ish level. It'll probably even try to, move above that. But this looks mm, like that looks like it'll probably move down from here because obviously a week before was an indecisive candle. So you can do one or two things. You can wait to see if it so I can set an alert here below 2215, right? And I can catch this on future. So I can look to see if this is going to go below 2215 or above 2240. I think that's right. 2340, 2240. Let me see. I'll see in a second. No, up here. So this is my range, right? So I know that, I can trade within here. And as long as it don't go above this 2340, I know it's coming back down. So I can go ahead and just wait and sit on this and then and play this short probably next week sometime and play it down to at least here. And that's gonna be a big that's gonna be a
Mhm.
big move too. So that's just in itself coming back down. You talking that's a 5% move. And that's 1,243 pips, right? So if you paying 25 cents, let me get my calculator out. I'll show you how that works. So let's
That
say
might be the only thing, like that might be the only learning curve, which it probably won't be difficult, is the pips
it's not
part.
difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah, it ain't hard. So 0.25 times was that 1,243. That like say you was only going in, with a low amount. Like say you was trading with like $100. You're making 300 off that 100 off of that move. If this rejects and comes back down to here, so like obviously the more that you're trading with the more you'd make off of that. But like even still, just for getting up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, that ain't a bad call,
absolutely not.
So I uh so that's what I'm thinking on IWM, or at least the futures part. I think that this week this is probably going to either reject down here, or well, not reject, but it's going to lose this support right here, or it's going to come up here and reject and then eventually come down below this 21, sorry. So if you're looking at this on IWM, you can pretty much see the same thing. So I'm expecting this to come up to 230 and rejecting off of 230. And then it'll probably come down to this, this area right here, this 220 area. Or I can see it coming lower. If it gets to like this 214, 210 area, yeah, let me move my trend line up.
Wait, D, check
Hmm.
this out.
Hmm.
Look at 2022 November. It's the exact same pattern. The exact same thing happened.
To 2022. Uh, oh
No, this
yeah,
ain't.
these are 2022.
Nah. Hold
Okay.
up. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right thing. No, no, no. 2021. My fault. 2021. 2021. Yeah, it's 2021. It's the exact same pattern.
Hmm. Yeah. Because right around this time, this is when this is was this around? No, this is after COVID had
COVID. Yeah,
already.
that's after COVID. That's going into where people started actually going back into the office.
Yeah. But okay. So here's what you got, right? Just looking at this. So this is also when they started kind of hiking up your like your interest rates and
Interest
stuff
rates.
too.
Yep.
So obviously when you got your small cap stocks, they can't afford rates when they start going up. So that's why like the interest rates coming down are beneficial for them. You see what I mean? So that's why, like, that's probably why you had this, this run up right here, and then it crashed down because this is when shoot, the inflation rate is probably up to six, 6 or more at this point, 6% or more at this point. So then that's when you start kind of see it coming back down. But we back here now. So, but I don't. It'd have to get above 230 for me to, have any conviction to the upside, or it'd have to come below this 220. And honestly, this is what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on it to come into this area right here.
And then fall through or bounce from there.
Yeah, but this is where I want to pick up leaks at. And I think I mentioned that in the Discord too. But I want to catch leaks here, like anywhere within this like range right here. Like if it closes out the week like down here in this area right here, like at any point within this area, 214 to like 220, if it closes out the week in here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna catch leaks here and then like legit for like 2 years. And
That's what I was
so
about to ask you, D. So because we know, and I'm just talking about, one of the biggest things you teach us is looking left. Because
yeah.
we know what happened last time I was here, when
Mm-hmm.
we start, so let's say we opened up essentially a leap here, like a 2 year leap here, knowing that we are planning on possibly averaging in because it could go back down to this other demand area.
Which is cool. Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Which is cool. Like at that point, now you have to kind of define your risk, right? So I would be looking at it like, okay, I'd be looking at getting an entry anywhere here. Shoot, the lower the better. So
Yep.
let's say it ends the week, it ends up at like 215, right? Okay. So now I can go ahead and take an entry here, knowing that this could potentially come up here, get back to 230. Shoot, that's still a good move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if it says, okay, it's getting weak and it comes down to this 200 level, 210, 200-ish, like down to here, right? 200. Now this is my next ad. So now I'm not paying the mortgage this month because I'm gonna go ahead and get in. I'm gonna add more here, and I'm probably gonna load up here for real, because you can see, like okay, in the past, anytime that it's kind of gotten to this 200 area, like at least the last time, it went up here to all-time high.
Yep.
Hold on one sec. Oh,
That's where the buyer's at.
yep, exactly. All right. All right. So, okay. So you can obviously see what happened the last time. So it got here to this $200 range, and then and then it went up from here. Um, that's the last interaction with that level. So that's why I would be like, hey, you know what? I'm loading up here. Go ahead and ride this up. All right. So that's how I would play that. So I'm not looking at this for anything other than futures or leaps. And for me, there's no in between with that with this one. So if it gets above here, I can go ahead and ride it up here, and that's still a good move from 230 to 246. You can ride that up here. You still gonna get a good return on a leap, a $16 move here. Or if it gets down here, anywhere within this range right here, from 214 to 220 ish, if it closes out the week within here, I ain't gonna even say. I don't even have to say it. I'm gonna go ahead and get in here, and I'm gonna my second ad is going to be down here. So even if it starts falling and, I'm down 20, 30, 40, I don't care. My ultimate plan is to load up once it gets to the 203, 200 area. And then, the hope is that it, rides back up to all time high. In 2 years, I'm hoping so. So, and that's just based off of what I'm looking at. And you can see the same thing. So,
Oh yeah, it's a lot of action at that level. I'm looking
yeah,
back three, four
yeah.
years right now. I see all the
Mm-hmm.
action.
Mm-hmm. And that's why. So I'm taking advantage, hopefully, of the smaller move, but ultimately, I want this. Like I want this move here, based off of this, based off of this, and based off what happened the last time. So
All right. So I just been chilling. I just want to add a little input, man.
what's
So
up, my bro?
what's going on, fellas, man? I'm
What's up,
sorry.
BP?
What up? What up? So if we looking at this on a macro scale, right?
Right.
We're looking at the Russell. We're looking at the S&P. We're looking at the Nasdaq. We're looking at the Dow, whatever, right? And we all know that this new administration is coming in, right? Let's say, boom, day one. Trump and his clique, they he signs executive orders X, Y, Z, right? Typically those things take anywhere, let's just say on the low end, from a year or two, to go into effect, right? If you buying leaps at this point in time, right, you already buying leaps probably at the lowest price that they will be if you're looking at it from that perspective, right? So if you're looking at it in a 2 to 3 5 year time frame, you're buying the S&P, you're buying the Russell, you're buying whatever you're buying at a great price at that moment in time. No, really, honestly, no matter what what price it is or real. I mean, you looking at all these incentives that he's about to push forward for, these companies, bro. Like, and you gotta even think, like, looking at the COVID years, right? When a bunch of people were struggling, all of these major companies, they hit profit profit record profits, bro. So just imagine if they did that in COVID, what they're about to do now with him rolling back all of these, deregulations, bro. They're about to put up wilt numbers for real. So like I said, man, I'm just in here chilling. I'm really just waiting to talk about Bitcoin.
Oh
But
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
just here
Oh
chill.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just here chilling,
Oh yeah, yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Give me a minute. Give me a
I
minute.
don't know. Hey, take your time.
Yeah, yeah.
Chilling.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna get to that. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's a good point though, because one thing we do know, like the antics, whatever he's a felon. He know how to make money.
Oh.
He know how to make money. So that's one thing we know for sure.
And a
Mhm.
lot of time, man, people get caught up like, what the stock is doing today, what it's doing next week, bro. The way to make money in any market, bro, is to hold for the long term.
Yep.
Point blank, period. Like, no matter whether you doing futures, stock option, whatever, bro. Like, buy and hold for the long term, bro. Like, that's
Yep.
how you accumulate your wealth over time. You got to be
Yep.
consistent, you got to be dedicated, and you got to hold for the long term.
Yep. Yeah. Because them little, the little nickel and dime moves, man, they'll make you a little bit on the front end, but Like,
Right.
be honest, at this point, man, especially if you work in a 9 to 5, it's kind of hard to catch, every single, little move. And I learned that early. I learned that early on just by like I got my face beat in a couple of times because it's like you end up going into a meeting and it's like, okay, dang, I didn't close out of that, or I didn't put I didn't put a limit order on that, then you come back and you down 40, 50%. You
Right.
kind of learn what not to do. But like I was telling Rob before y'all came on, man, I'll be back in the office pretty much every day. So like day trading they ain't gonna work for my they ain't gonna work for me. So um I think that kind of looking at it on a bigger time frame, kind of works a little bit better, at least for for the majority of folk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and I just want people to realize because I'm thinking about actually posting this on YouTube, man. So we got to do something to push this content out. But that we'll discuss that off topic. But
oh yeah, no doubt, no
but
doubt.
yeah, man, I just want people to kind of take a step back and kind of look at it from a bigger lens view, man. Because when you're talking about you're looking at stuff weekly and a few months out, like that's cool and all, but you don't really 90% of people don't really accumulate wealth like that in the market, right? That's kind of
Yeah.
like I kind of equivalent that to like kind of working a 9 to 5 in the market, right? Where you trading every
Hmm.
week or you trading monthly and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, when you look at leaps and stuff, it's gonna cost you a lot of money up front, right? But the potential for you to make 2, 3, 5x that amount is way greater in my opinion. But
This is another conversation that's probably not for this capacity, but and D and I have talked about this, but that's a whole mindset shift, DP, and I know you know that, man. But like, and I tell D this all the time, like I wish I can get my family to understand like investing and what they do because everybody's big, and this is what the world is doing. It's on purpose. Everybody's big on this gambling now, these parlays, like, and I'm trying to tell them, y'all, this is I know
Yeah.
the market is made for us to lose money, but there's at least a way to do it knowledge based. I don't
right,
know that there's
Hmm.
truly a knowledge based way to say, I swear he's gonna get 8 assists and 10 points tonight.
right,
It
right.
just ain't like for real.
Yeah. It's man. Okay. So the way, because I mean, I talk about it here all the time, man, until I'm probably blue in the face, just because it's like in some way, shape, or form, man, I'm like watching a video, I'm reading something or whatever. So it's like always in the forefront of my mind. I think the biggest thing, man, is being able to show people that they can do the same thing if and it's calculated, if they just kind of take a like 30 minutes a day, man, like it don't take long. It don't take long. It really don't take long. Like, but you got to be able to kind of sell them on it. But people want to see, like me and Rob were talking about. He was saying he got clowned over making $27. I'm like, all right, that's $27 you have to go out there and steal. It's $27 you have to go out there and go to the casino for. It's like it's stuff that all you got to do is take 30 minutes to do,
Right,
like for real. Like and figure out the pattern. You don't even have to have like 5 different stocks. You just have one and
right,
just get used to the pattern of that one. And you make more than $27. You just can't you can't just get caught up in the dollar amount part. Just don't
yeah,
get caught up in that.
right.
That's
And
yeah.
and I think our community has been sold a false dream in a sense, right?
Mhm.
Especially like I hate the word. I hate is a strong word. I dislike the word diversification when it comes to telling people, "Oh, you always need to diversify your portfolio, diversify, blah blah blah." Bro, listen, man, that ain't true. Diversification is cool when you already got the bag.
Right.
But people who look like us, diversification ain't the best way to obtain wealth, bro. Like you need to be concentrated in great companies and great
Mm-hmm.
assets, whatever you do, concentrate it. Don't
Mm-hmm.
just to give the people a number, I would recommend don't invest in more than 4 stocks. Pick
Yep.
four, pick 2 ETFs, pick 2 other stocks which are great companies, and go all in on those 4, bro. Like
Yep.
you don't need no 30 million stocks, man. You don't need to be on a Warren Buffett plan. You ain't got Warren Buffett bag.
Bro,
So
look,
why you trying
hey,
to invest like Warren Buffett, bro? Like,
Yeah,
hey, come on, man. Like set realistic
man.
expectations for yourself, bro.
Oh yeah. Nah, no doubt. I got a cousin, man, that he was like when we first started doing this, man, he was kind of on it. And then he kind of backed off. And I mean, no big to each his own, man. And he was like, "Oh yeah, Buffett said this." I'm like, "Bro, you ain't got Buffett money like that." I mean, you might not, but I, I just, I don't know, man. You got to kind of do what works for you.
Right.
You got to do what makes sense to you. And think about it. Like, most people work a 9 to 5. Most people, even if you got your own business, you still are invested in that. So if you got 8, 9, 10, 20 different stocks that you're looking at, realistically, you don't have time to research them all.
Mhm.
Like you really don't. You really and truly don't. You got to find a few that work for your situation, for your lifestyle. And like, okay, like I might like Palantir, but that might not work for you. You
Right.
might not be able to assume that type of risk. I'm cool with it, but I'm not putting, everything that I have into it because I know my situation. Everybody knows their situation. You got to know yours. So that's kind of how I see that. So I'm gonna go over some of the swings real quick, but I know you want to kind of hop on that Bitcoin
My
thing.
no, my bad, man. I ain't even
Go
trying
ahead.
to. Like I
Nah,
said,
bro,
I'm
go
just here,
ahead.
bro.
Do your thing. Do your
Nah,
thing.
go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. Because
nah, Porter,
I
yeah,
got
you cool. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead because we did kind of talk about the swings. We could finish with those because we already talked about them a little bit.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead, D. You good?
Bro, I was just gonna ramble. Let
Oh,
me
go ahead, man.
be
Go
completely
for it.
honest
What's
with
your
you, bro. Like I would prefer you to get done with with your swings, bro.
okay?
If
So
I
all
have
right,
something, I'll throw a little input in there if I have something, some
all right,
game.
cool. Okay, so I'm just going. I got like 7 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. I got 7 up here, but I'm only really focused on 3. And I'll tell y'all the reason why, right? So I got AMD up here, I got Exxon, and then I got Marathon and Target. I don't know which one I'm gonna really mess with yet, but I want to really show y'all Exxon, right? Because we got into this on Friday. I think we got into it a little bit early, and it's cool. Um, what I was looking for was for it to come down to this 103, $104 level. So what I noticed on Friday, I'll go to the daily. What I noticed on Friday is that it got up here. It opened up above the 9 here, and it started kind of moving up to about this 108 level. So I was telling Rob and Chris, I said, if it closes the day above this 9, we can go ahead and make an entry. But like once I start kind of holding 107.15, I was like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and jump in. And we jumped in real light.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for going in as light as we did was because it started kind of getting a little shaky when the market started pulling back. Um, so I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and take a contract. If it runs from here, cool. If it don't, cool. So my plan with this is, okay, I like the fact that I'm cool with holding this for 2 reasons, right? One, it stayed within this area, and 2, look at the RSI. So the RSI is down here in the 20s, right? In the low 20s or like mid 20s. So the fact that it's down here like that, I know that some type of move is going to happen, like whether it be this week or next week or at some point before it expires. I think we got into the 17th,
Yeah, we got to the 17th.
right? So you got a lot of consolidation. It's making, higher, like higher lows here, right? Pull back just a little bit. And I think this was attributed to the market. I'm not, I'm not convinced that this is going, drop any further down from here. I think this thing is probably going to go here over the next couple of weeks, at least to 110 in the next couple of weeks. And that's based off the fact that this RSI is kind of bubbling down here. That's why, and that's the reason why I didn't exit. If it comes down to here where I originally wanted to get it, I'll go ahead and add here. But I think that over the next couple of weeks, it's gonna go. Again, that's based off the RSI and then just based off of what it did on Friday. So that's one swing. Um AMD, right? So AMD, we've been talking about AMD for the past probably at least 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Right now I'm in a leap on AMD, and I got in down here at about 122, 121. But actually I got in right here, 120.40. And then the next day it came down to 117, and then it did its thing. So I think I'm up like 4%, but I'm in it until January of next year. So if it gets to a point where it comes down here to 116, I'll add more. But what I'm thinking, at least in the short term, I think that this is probably going to retest this 123 level, and then it's going to probably bounce and it's probably going to get to this trend line right here, and then it'll probably reject down. But if it goes any further, the next target that I see is 140. So if you want to even get an entry tomorrow, it'd have to um, go over 127.50. And then you can ride that up to the trend line. So that's going to be that's a 2.5%, 2.5 to 1 on that one, risk to reward on that one. So the first target would be the trend line here, which is like 130, 131. And then the next one would be up here, like 139, 140. I don't, yeah, I don't, I don't foresee this. Like, I can't see this coming back down here right now. It might. And if it does, like I said, then you can load up a leap here and ride it up. And the reason why, so the leap that I got into is it's a 250 call. And it's the reason why is because, okay, so you see what happened when this is at all-time high, right? And this was back in February, I think. So this is the potential that this has. We're all the way down here.
They so undervalued, bro.
Exactly.
So
And
undervalued. It's crazy.
yeah,
That's Nvidia.
yeah.
Man,
So
they like Nvidia's little brother, man.
yeah. And guess what? So think about it like this, right? So Nvidia is the world's biggest chip maker, right?
Mm.
Okay. It's like, man, it's like being in school, right? Like back in the day. It's like, okay, everybody up on this fine girl, right? She's fine, she fast, she bad. Everybody can't get her. But then there's another girl that she might not be as bad, but like she got some potential too.
She's
So
still bad. Like she
yeah,
just
she's
ain't
still
her.
bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So, and that's how I look at this. So this was for the contract I bought is $400, like 420. So you potentially think of the potential that this has. Nvidia can't catch everything. They're not going to catch all the orders. This imagine it's going all the way back to here, even 200. You can't tell me that can't happen in a year. It could. So I'm betting on that. It's for me. It's a good risk just based off the company itself. It's not the company. Excuse me. The company didn't go bad.
Right. Still a great company.
Yeah.
A very
So
profitable company.
yeah. So and it's trading under the 200-day moving at 200 is right here. 200 here at like 150. That's a $30 move just to that. So I'm betting on that just based off of that. But in the in the short term, I'm looking at this above 127.50, 128. You
Man,
know,
load the boat, bro. Load the
yeah,
boat. They
yeah,
bringing in a Brinks truck for all companies who doing AI, nuclear warfare, and it
mm-hmm,
load the boat on the
yeah,
top companies in those sectors, bro.
yeah.
EMD is number two. Ain't nothing wrong with a solid role player, bro.
Mm-mm, at
Real.
all, at all. So that's my rationale on that. And then the last one, like I said, is either marathon or target. I'll look at both real quick. So marathon, I like just because of its excuse my chart by the way. Um, it's because of its association with Bitcoin. It's a Bitcoin
That's my
mining company,
baby girl,
right?
man.
Huh?
My baby Mara,
That's
my
it.
baby
Yeah, that's
girl.
it.
You know, I made a living off Mara, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And it's in that area, right? It's in that. Hold on, I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna move this out of here so y'all can see it a little bit better. Then I'm gonna hide my levels too. All right. So okay, when you look at this, right? Anytime that it kind of starts getting in, D man, you can tell me if you see the same thing because you trade this a lot more than I do, right? So, all right, this like last year, I was in a class and I traded this thing the entire week. I traded this area from here all the way to here, all right, up here to about 27 dollars, and this happened within a week. So now, if you start looking at the chart, this is starting to kind of slowly come down to this next support right here, which is this 1540 area. Like anywhere in this 14 to like $15 range, like this is a good area to even pick up equity, man. Because every time it gets to this area, something happens. And you can kind of associate this with what's probably going to happen with Bitcoin too, because Bitcoin's pulling back. So Bitcoin right now, I think is at like 92, 93, 92,000, right? So over the next couple of weeks, you got what? The end of this week is what? The third?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I can see this coming down here at least to this area and testing this area right here this week. And then coming down to this support and probably bouncing from here. Right around the same time that Bitcoin probably will start kind of reversing and moving back up. That's just my opinion.
And after this, so I just looked at Bitcoin chart. So after this, I want you to actually pull up Bitcoin chart
Okay,
and let me know
cool.
and tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
But yeah, Mara. So Mara, out of all of the companies, MSTR, which is Michael Saylor's company, they own the number one most Bitcoin out of all the companies. Number two is Mara. Mara actually mines Bitcoin. MSTR does not. They just buy it, right? Mara is actually they actually mine Bitcoin and they buy it as well. So
Yep.
I just want to add that little tidbit in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're a good company. Now, and I did a little bit of research on this on yesterday, right? So their thing is based off of actually having Bitcoin to mine. So at this point, they keep pulling back because there's not a whole lot of Bitcoin to actually mine. I don't know. I'll give you a little bit of understanding of how Bitcoin works, right? So there is 21 million Bitcoin that's going to be put into existence, right?
Mhm.
And right now there's only 19 million that's in circulation. So the last Bitcoin will actually be mined in 115, like 2140 is when the last Bitcoin is going to be mined, and then that's it, right? So within that time, you have halving periods. So within those periods, that's where your the Bitcoin that's left. Explain that a little bit more because I'm still kind of
Yeah,
shaky on
yeah,
that
yeah.
on halving.
You're right. So in layman's terms, pretty much in those halving years, which happens every 4 years, Bitcoin pretty much gets released. right? More Bitcoin kind of gets flood like released to the market, and the miners they mine it, which they pretty much put it in circulation. That's all it pretty much means.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
they have the price so more people can get invested, right?
Correct. Well,
Mm-hmm.
on the miners end, right? So if you're a miner, when you mine Bitcoin, you get a reward, right? So I think the reward right now is like 3.125 Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and then for every 4 years it goes lower and lower and lower.
Because
So,
more Bitcoin is out there. That's why. Okay.
correct, correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah. So it's a yeah. So like don't mind the pullbacks per se, because I actually like I'd actually bought my son some of this marathon, but and I buy it even if it's going down, it looked like it ain't doing nothing. It's continuing to, it's continuing to grow. You just got to be patient enough to wait to see what happens, because when it moves, it moves. So you got this, you got marathon, you got riot, and you got hut too. Those three, they're mining companies, but the other two, they're not as they're not as big. So like I think even with the ETFs, I think they're a little further down as far as the amounts that
Yeah, yeah, they are.
yeah. So but this one right here, if you're patient enough to wait, $3, this 15.50 to like $14 range, that'll be a nice swing that you can hold on to for a couple of weeks or a couple of months.
Mhm. And like, in mind you, like I was buying shares of Mara when it was in the $7 and $9 range, bro. So like I was buying Mara like pretty early on. Like I was making 500 to a stack on Mara, like just by swinging it, back in the
Hmm.
day. So
Yeah,
Yo,
you just
DP,
gotta.
just you just made me think of something. In 2020,
I'll be right back.
2019 or 2020, when I first started like learning about trading, I got rewarded. AMD, it was $4.29.
oh, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, man. I remember I sold it for like $6. I didn't know nothing about nothing
Yeah,
though, man. I
yeah.
was
I mean, look, we all don't have those
like,
those moments, man, for real. Um,
looking back though, AMD people, this was before Nvidia. So people were looking at me like, why would you sell AMD? I didn't know.
right, because Nvidia really started getting hot for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's just like
The
3
last
years
couple of
ago.
years for real, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but AMD was always the top dog in that sector, man. So
Yep.
hey,
Hmm. Big facts. So um, so that's what I got on tomorrow, real quick, and then the last one is Target, and then
man,
I'm
I don't know how. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I
huh
don't know how to feel about Target, man. So I traded this a few months ago,
yeah.
and they just begin crush, man. Like their
Yeah.
numbers are looking
Hmm.
pitiful.
Yeah, I just, like for me, man, I look at it from a consumer standpoint, and I'm like, okay, I go into Target and they ain't never empty, and you know what I mean.
Straight up.
So yeah,
Facts.
so
It, it looked
so
bear. It looked bearish now though.
huh?
Facts.
It looked bearish now.
Oh yeah, it's shoot. Honestly, if I look at this a couple ways. So I'm looking at it from a short-term perspective, and I look at it from a long-term perspective, right? So I don't see nothing here. I thought I saw like a thought it's hold on. Hmm.
I see what you're saying though.
Yeah. So okay. So you can look at this a couple ways, right? If you're looking at this from a long-term perspective, you got a gap that is long overdue to being filled. And that gap is from here to here. So you talking like my bad. So you talking still about a $9-10 gap.
Mm-hmm.
So if that ever gets to a point where it starts breaking out here, you can go ahead and start taking profits like here, like 145. That's 10, that's a $10 move, right? But on the other hand, you know, you can look at it because
It's
this is a good,
rejecting the nine, yeah.
yeah. you can look, it's a good either or setup. So like if it starts getting here to like this 137, 138 range, and you start to see weakness, all you got to do is wait for it to, start coming down here, and then you could do a long dated put and ride that down to 118, 120 once it actually breaks out of that. So it's at that halfway point on this flag. And again, this is on a weekly time frame. So if you're looking at it, from okay, I'm gonna do this on a long term, you can wait till it breaks out, out of this range right here and holds above 138 and then run it to 145, 150. Or you could wait till it gets to the other end of this flag and then ride it down, down here to 130. So what's up, Chris?
Yo, what's up, y'all? Hey, did y'all already talk about Zom?
We did.
Okay. I'll rewatch the recording.
All right. Yeah. All right. So those are the ones I'm looking at. Oh, and then oh, my bad.
Did you already do Palantir?
Nope.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot about that. All right. I don't even have it on my list. But okay.
Oh, that's looking sexy. Woo!
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like,
man.
all right. So when we first started talking about this, when we first started Discord group, what's up, Boo?
Man, I don't even want to talk about this. When I started with y'all, it was only $24.
Yeah.
And I just started in May. So I know
Yeah.
y'all knew about this before then.
Oh,
Bro.
I've had it since it was originally I had it when it was down here at like $6 and some change.
Oh my God.
Hey,
And got it, and I got impatient.
Shares at $11.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like I only liked it because it was cheap. And then once I started kind of getting a little bit more information about it, and then we started the Discord, we started started talking about it more like around here, right here, like around here. And then I bought 100 shares here at like $24 and some change. I still got the majority of them, but like I sold a bunch of them when it got, where is that earnings at? Here. I sold a whole bunch of them. Like I sold about half here, and now I'm just letting the rest of them ride. So, but what I see here is like it's at all-time highs right now, and right now it's struggling to get past 85. But don't let that fool you. So there's a couple of different areas that I want y'all to kind of be very Hey, close the door real quick.
The interest is there. Clearly, the interest is there. Clearly.
Oh yeah. You got some overbought vibes, but it's like, close the door for me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got some overbought vibes here. I mean, it's like way overbought, like 80, you're talking 85, right? But like, I want y'all to kind of pay close attention to a couple of different areas. So one area I want y'all to focus on is like 80. So 82 to 80. And you can see why, right? So it got up here, it's held this area of support for a while. Even though it closed under that $80 level is huge. And then this $77 range is huge too. So if you paid attention to this on Friday, and if you look on the Discord, we had, like, I got that on there too, like a 77 bounce, right? So anywhere within this $77-ish range is a big bounce level too. So look here, 1, 2, 3, 4 different reasons to believe that this is a strong level, right? So if this gets down to this $77 level and the selling volume starts to slow down, there's a good area to get in on calls too. Your next level down is like your 76-ish, 75-ish dollar range. And then once you start getting into this 71 to $70 range, and even down to like 65, 66, those are good, like real good ad points too, if it ever gets down here. So one thing that we know is that at some point, this is going to have a good pullback. I don't know if it's going to happen in the coming weeks or months, but this is going to have a good pullback. Don't panic. Like, get in here and, especially once it starts getting to these areas, this is probably like this area right here, the 66, $65 range is probably where it's going to go to that $100 level and higher. That's what
let me set my alerts now, man.
That's just what I think.
I promise you, if Palantir ever hits $60 again, I'm loading the boat.
Yeah, I ain't paying a mortgage that month. I'm so serious.
Matter of fact, they just dropped a brand new commercial, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of y'all seen it, but they dropped a commercial with like drone swarms, talking about like how they're going to be fighting wars with drones. Like all these drones was on an aircraft carrier, and the drones were swarming in to fight the wars, bro. Like, hey man, Palantir is going to be, mark my words, Palantir will be one of the stocks for 2025, man.
Yep. Shoot. Yeah. I'm up. I'm up like 300 and something percent on equity.
Oh, man, I got a few leaps on Palantir, man. So
yeah, it's like it's a good stock to have. Just because they're picking up a lot of government contracts too, and that's one of those things that the new administration is like, you know they're big on defense type stocks. So like your Lockheed Martins and companies like that, you're gonna see them start to kind of uptick again too.
So do we got time to do we have time for me to give a little bit more insight on Palantir, man?
Hey, go for it, man. And then you can jump on the Bitcoin stuff after that. Go for it.
So Palantir, man, there was an article released, I want to say probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, right? They had pretty much like this joint, I would say like defense government contracting symposium, right? With all the top dogs, like Palantir, Boeing, Lockheed, all of these guys, right? So as a result of that meeting, Palantir ended up partnering with like SpaceX and like a few more different companies to essentially create this conglomerate to bid on government contracts. Now, for the people who don't understand what that means, Elon Musk is the owner of SpaceX. He's essentially Trump's right hand man, right? If you look at the way Elon Musk has positioned himself, like this year alone, he has a hand in every single thing that America does, right? You look at Tesla, he's in the car industry. You look at SpaceX, he's in the space industry. You look at Starlink, internet all over the world. Like you look, he has underground tunnels for travel for Teslas. Like he literally has a hand in everything America, right? And you look at Palantir, we're talking about defense, AI, nuclear warfare. You merge both of those together, bro. Come on, man. Like it's the writing is on the wall, bro. Like they're gonna be unstoppable, man. Then you appoint Elon Musk as one of the heads of Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. They're already talking about how Lockheed and Boeing is overcharging the government. They're gonna cut all of that stuff out. And Trump loves to pay his own buddies. They're just gonna insert the Palantir slash SpaceX conglomerate, and instead of Lockheed Martin and Boeing, bro, like that's gonna push them through the roof, bro. And let alone, and this a little bit of insight. So SpaceX was supposed to IPO in I think late 2025 or whatever. Word on the street is they moved their IPO up 13 months. Do you know how insane that is? You move your IPO date up 13 months, bro. Like these guys are playing chess, man. They really playing chess, bro. So Palantir is a great company, bro, and they babies in the defense industry, right? And they just won like a over $600 million contract. Come on, man, that's not a coincidence. So, and they're babies; they ain't even reach full maturity yet. So, buy Palantir, bro. It's a good company. It's gonna be even greater. So straight up, man. I'm done, dog. You go ahead. My bad.
Oh, you good, man? Shoot.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
want to give you a little insight on the inner background workings of Palantir and everything, man.
oh, you good, bro? Oh, you good? You
So they're
good?
gonna be added to that list.
Most definitely. Adam, bro. I'd say my recommendation is buy shares and buy contracts on them boys, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. It's ride the momentum out. This Bitcoin right here, man.
Ooh, okay.
All right, go ahead.
Where the RSI at?
A Bitcoin.
Down here at the bottom.
Look, this look prime.
Okay. Hey, man. So, Dimitri, I want to get your thoughts on this chart first before
Okay.
I go into it.
All right. So for me, right, this okay, so this level right here, this 93,000-ish level, right? This is kind of a almost like a make or break level. So you can look at this one or two ways. So obviously Bitcoin moves 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think that tonight, I think that this is going to come down further. And I think where it's going to ultimately end up kind of depends on a couple of things. So one thing, as y'all know, I don't know if y'all realize it or not, but Bitcoin does not is not affected by how the S&P moves, how QQQ moves, how the Dow moves, anything like that, right? So Bitcoin is kind of its own entity, and it's based off its own movement. So even if like the market itself is moving up, Bitcoin could be moving down. That's not necessarily a bad thing for people that hold Bitcoin or anything like that. Um, whether y'all realize it or not, Bitcoin is kind of where things are probably going to ultimately go. So what I see is this thing pulling back here, at least probably sometime next week under like probably like under 90K. And then if it moves under 90K, your next move down is probably going to be like 85 or 80.
Hey, DP, I got a question before you like get in depth with
Yeah.
Bitcoin. So I watched that 2-part video, the bit by bit, with Chris Johnson, and so now I'm trying to figure out what would you recommend as far as money coming in and then going out to kind of purchase Bitcoin, but using it as like I don't know, like I don't know if it's possible to use it as day-to-day currency because I saw you say that you paid your car note with Bitcoin, but like what if I want to pay my mortgage, my regular day-to-day, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
bills with that? What would you recommend?
So I use Strike. And Strike was created by this guy, young white guy, man, genius dude, man. His name is Jack Maulers, and you can look him up, man. He speaks a lot about Bitcoin. He got a lot of like high level overview about Bitcoin. But I use this company called Strike, which he created, and they're Bitcoin only, and you actually get a checking account inside of Strike. And so for me personally, like my mortgage and my car note, it won't allow me to pay with like a credit card or anything like that. I have to pay via a checking account, right? So what I do is I deposit my money, my fiat currency, my dollars into Strike. I go I go into my mortgage company account or whatever account I have. I put in my Strike checking and routing number. I link those two, and I pay my note off from my BTC account.
It's clutch.
And
Okay.
so that's how I did it. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So I mean honestly, to be honest, man, I kind of been I kind of been off the fiat standard for over 10 years now. And I was just thinking about it the other day, talking to my girl, explaining to her. about what I was doing. But I've been kind of off the fiat currency for over 10 years now because I solely been living off of credit cards, right? Like I just booked a whole week, airplane flight to Portugal next year, bro, based off of my Amex points alone. So like I've been living off of credit cards for well over 10 years at this point. And now I just don't educated myself enough to just live off the Bitcoin standard for real. So I mean basically all of the cash that I have incoming, bro, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch it over to BTC. Like I literally go broke buying Bitcoin. So because I believe in it so much, man, and the just the value of the dollar, bro, like it's inevitable. If you look at the history of it, I don't know if any of y'all watch what I posted in the Discord. It's a series of videos. It's called The Hidden Secrets of Money. Like if you watch that, bro, it opens your eyes up to like so much stuff about what money is and what currency is because they're two totally different things. Like and just the way that America has been since day one to where we are now and where we going at in the future, bro. Like it's inevitable that something is going to happen to the dollar and it's not going to be good. And I want all of my people to be ahead of the curve instead of playing catch up. So that's why I kind of switch from talking about stocks to be honest and kind of shifted my mindset towards Bitcoin. I'm not knocking on stocks or anything like that, but I feel like Bitcoin is the solution to our money and currency problem. So my bad, bro. I ain't even mean to go off on that tangent.
You good? You good, man? Hey, go
I'm
for it,
passionate
man.
about
Preach.
Bitcoin,
You
bro.
good?
I'm,
You
I'm
good?
yeah, I'm super passionate, man, about Bitcoin, man. It's really it's become a lifestyle for me, bro. Like y'all can look at my bookshelf. I probably have well over 15 books about Bitcoin, man. Just been diving deep into it, man, about what it really means, what it I don't even know how to really explain it, bro. It's like America, the United States government can print money out of thin air, bro. Like that in itself is crazy. So that should already tell you like your money don't mean crap. And then like us as people, man, we work so hard to get these things that at the end of the day, none of it really matters, bro. Because you still gonna owe somebody. And I realized, man, like on my journey to get to a certain peak or a certain mountaintop, none of this crap matters because all of it is manufactured. So in my own pursuit of happiness and freedom, I learned that what was really most important to me was my family and my loved ones and my friends, bro. Like none of that stuff matters because even now, right? I got real estate. I'm doing all of these things, but at the end of the day, even if I do pay my mortgage off, that property bill still gonna slap me in the face at the end of the year. So technically, I still don't own anything. Still, because if I don't pay that tax, they coming to take that. And I realized the only thing they cannot take, manipulate is Bitcoin. Like they cannot touch that at all, man. And it's inevitable that the more money they print, Bitcoin is just going to keep rising and rising and rising. And we're talking about over $900 trillion in assets, whether it be gold, silver, money, whatever. Bitcoin is only at its current state right now. Bitcoin is only 1.3 trillion worth of a $900 trillion asset class. So we still in its infancy stages when you're talking about Bitcoin, bro. So I don't even care if this chart said 150, bro. 150 is still a great time to enter into Bitcoin because everybody gonna be regretting it when Bitcoin hit 500K, when Bitcoin hit 750, when Bitcoin hits a million. Like you don't want to be that person to be like, man, I wish I would have listened, or I wish I would have bought, I wish I would have did this and that. Like I posted in Discord, I cashed out on one of my 401ks, right? I bought $13,000 worth of Bitcoin at 100K. After I did that, it pulled back to 93. And you know what? I ain't even care because I know they can't manipulate Bitcoin. They can't print more Bitcoin, bro. Like if I would have did that in fiat currency, my dollars would have been worth nothing. It would have been null and void. But me knowing what I know and know that they can't manipulate Bitcoin, that there's gonna be only 21 million ever created. Why not? I'm gonna keep buying no matter whether the price goes to 10,000, no matter where it goes back to 100,000. Like I don't care, bro. Like that's what my life is right now. Like that's my lifestyle. Don't even pay me in dollars, bro. Like I want Bitcoin and Bitcoin only. I trade stocks just so I can buy more Bitcoin. That's the only reason I trade these days, to be completely honest with you. Like outside of that, I don't even care about nothing. Pay me in Bitcoin, Bitcoin, like straight up. Like me and Dimitri, man, we talk a lot about Bitcoin, man, and I get it. Like especially our culture, man, the black and brown community, man. It's just, I guess, like crypto in itself is so like it kind of has like a negative like tone around it, right? Because, but I think people need to separate Bitcoin and crypto because they're two totally different things, bro. Like, and I wish that people would just educate themselves on what Bitcoin really is, man. So I ain't gonna get too deep into it, man. But if y'all got any questions about it, like feel free to hit me up. Watch those videos, watch like any information that I post in the Discord, bro. Like it's all great information. It's information that I vetted myself, that I've done my own due diligence on it. So I fully trust it. So yeah, but I'm gonna let you have it, bro.
Shoot, nah, man. Hey, man, you said enough, man. Like, um, yeah, you know, I've read a lot of stuff in the last couple of weeks when it comes to Bitcoin, man, and it's like I think that like one of the biggest things, man, it's a solution to a problem. Like, you know, like we had a big inflationary run up here over the last couple of years, man, and that caused a lot of problems. That put a whole lot more dollars into the atmosphere. So now, obviously, the dollar that we make every day, it ain't gonna buy the same amount that it bought a year, hell, even a year ago.
Right.
So, just look at it from that point of view. Look at it from that perspective, man. I mean, okay, a lot of us here, probably in our, 30s, 40s, or whatever, think about what the dollar could buy you 20 years ago, 25 years ago. We're not even getting close to that now. Think about just going to the grocery store now. Like, my wife went to the grocery store right before Christmas, man, and it's like, oh, I spent $400, but it don't feel like you even got anything. You know what I mean?
Facts, a
Yeah,
dollar man long gone. Facts, bro.
long gone, man. So, one of the videos that I watched, man, and the dude like kind of broke it down. He was like, okay, you got like, let's say you got $100. That $100 is, you know, really worth 90 or probably less than that. But every day that you keep it in that account is losing more and more value because goods and services are going up. Hell, your rent's going up, mortgage is going up, property taxes going up because the amount that you paid for your house. Say you paid 100,000 for your house. Okay, 5 years from now, that house is going to be worth 150,000. So now, guess what? The property taxes going to be based off of 150,000, not the 100. You know what I mean? So, but then your money, the value of your money is becoming less and less.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's got to get to a point where you start kind of putting something in play where your money is moving up with, with the way that the economy's going.
And I'm gonna be real. Don't let Uncle Jerome lie to y'all, man. Inflation is not no whatever the I ain't gonna curse my inflation is not whatever the freak they say it is, man. It ain't no 3%, 4%. The real percentage of inflation is whatever the S&P 500 averages each year. So I think what the last year the S&P average, let's just say 26%. That's the real percentage of inflation because they can manipulate whatever numbers they want. They can manipulate that stuff. They can take stuff out. They can put stuff in just to, and it's all an illusion, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's all an illusion, man. So like, I just want people to wake up, man, and realize that
Yep.
their money is being stole from them. Their purchasing power is being taken away from them every single day, and it's decreasing day by day. So
Facts.
even when I was a kid, man, and I'm a '90s baby. Growing up, I used to go into the store. I used to be able to get 4 bags of chips for $1.
Yep, 25 cents.
Those same chips, a dollar in 50 cents. You know what I mean? Like for one bag, like it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So man, like I said, I believe in Bitcoin, bro. I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. The the Discord will be my documented journey, and when I become wealthy, I'm gonna make a video documenting my journey for me switching to stocks and to Bitcoin because Bitcoin has really like opened my eyes on a lot of stuff, man, for real. So yeah, man.
Shoot. Hey, I'm gonna open it up for anybody that want to kind of, jump in here. But other than that, man, I'm good.
Yeah, I
This,
appreciate that information though, Porter, man.
No problem, man. Like I said, I'm gonna switch all paying like all of my bills with Bitcoin, bro. Straight up. Like all of my credit cards, like everything. I'm gonna pay everything with Bitcoin. Straight up. So if it ain't Bitcoin, I don't want to hear about it, man. Bring it out to the streets, man. If it ain't Bitcoin, don't talk to me, man. Don't talk to
Hey,
me.
D. So did y'all talk about Bitcoin? I can't tell. Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. I just want to jump. 'Cause I jumped on kind of late and stuff.
Oh, it's all good. It's
I
recorded,
appreciate you
man.
guys.
It's all good. And we right across the street, man, so we can rap about it anytime.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk more about the Bitcoin though, because you're right, DP, about the stigma and everything. Black people be like, "Yo, that ain't no money."
Mm-hmm.
But my whole thing about it was, what can you do with it? That's how I started. What can I do with this? Can I pay my bills with this? But you just told me some stuff I didn't know.
Yeah, you can. And I think I was talking to my girl about this too, man. I think especially black people, man, we look for a lot of tangible assets, right? Because we want to touch our money, we want to feel out like we want, I guess I would use the word like instant gratification, right? Like that's why you see a lot of our culture, buying the jewelry, the gold, and because we want that to symbolize a certain level of wealth, right? But Bitcoin is one of those things where you won't be able to touch. You just know you got it, and that's what happiness is, right? People can tell you happy, right? People can tell you at peace, but that don't mean they necessarily have it. It just that energy that radiates off of you that everybody else can tell, right? And I think Bitcoin is kind of like one of those things, man, where like once again we still in those infancy stages of Bitcoin being fully adopted. I kind of equivalent it to the internet ages. Back in the '90s when we used to have to go to Walmart and they were giving out those AOL free trials, and used to have the
Yeah.
dial up and all that. Like nobody could have imagined what the internet would be. And I feel like that's the point that we're at right now as a society when it comes to Bitcoin. Like El Salvador's president years ago, he got rid of all of their fiat currency. He bought Bitcoin with it, and now they up crazy numbers, man. And so that's what's happening in America right now with Trump administration about to create this strategic Bitcoin bill. They're pretty much gonna. It's pretty much a nuclear arms race on who can buy the most Bitcoin right now. That's what it is. So we're battling China, we battling Russia, we battling all these other countries to see who can, accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. But you can do a lot of things with it, right? At least for me, like I said, I'm paying all of my bills through Strike, with Bitcoin, and but it's not. But to answer your question, it's not as widely adopted as of yet. I know overseas is a little bit they're a little bit more better about, like, I seen videos of like people going to Walmart. I mean, people going to Starbucks and stuff like that, buying like coffee and stuff with their Bitcoin. But as of right now in the United States, I really don't know of too many places like that. But best believe, man, like it's gonna come. It's gonna come for real. And I think the Trump administration and the people who he's put in place in particular will help move that along a lot faster than it would have been if, the, the Democrats were still in office. But that's just my opinion.
Hey, appreciate you.
Hmm.
Hey, D, you gonna post the link to this? I saw it was being recorded. You gonna post it here in the group?
Yeah, yeah. It takes a second for it to kind of upload. So once we're off of here, and then this is going on like 2 hours, so it'll take a minute. So once it gets done, I'll put it in Discord.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
You.
Why Rob look like he sleep on that phone?
Yeah, Strike is dope. Coinbase is dope. Swan is dope.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this one.
Cash App, I haven't used that, but I know Dimitri does.
Yeah,
One, no, go ahead.
well, and the reason why I use Cash App is because I got kids that's like in their in their 20s and stuff like that, and that's the easiest way for me to kind of get different stuff to them, and I know that they'll actually do something with it.
Right.
So yeah, and I know a few of y'all got kids in their teens or early 20s or whatever, and the biggest thing is just to be able to kind of get the information in their grasp. So that's
Right.
why I use a lot of Cash App. Cash App ain't the most recommended, but um, but there's also things out there that you can kind of put in place to protect all your stuff.
Right. And M1 Finance. The only thing with M1 Finance is I don't believe that they allow you to transfer um Bitcoin off of their platform. So any platform, I don't care who it is, whether it be Robinhood, whatever. And I know I used to bash Robinhood a lot back in the day for not allowing people to transfer their Bitcoin, but now they do, which is great. So um, any platform that allows you to transfer your Bitcoin, use that platform and get a cold wallet um, to store your Bitcoin on, whether it be a ledger or a treasure or anything like that. So,
Oh yeah, I bought one. Actually, it should be at the door right now. But
mhm,
yeah, I bought, especially if it's something that you're gonna be putting Bitcoin into. Is
right,
is to your is to your benefit to do that.
right. And buy some, man, and buy some for your kids, your grandkids, your aunts, your nephew. It ain't even got. It can be something as simple as $20, $30, man. Like something small, because that Bitcoin really is the gift that's gonna keep on giving for real, bro. Like, so yeah.
Anybody got anything? Anybody got anything else I want to throw in there?
Appreciate y'all.
I'm just grateful to be a part of this for real, for real.
Yeah.
Hey, well, we ain't going nowhere, man. Like I told Rob when he first came on, like I gotta be back in the office, like, more days starting in January, but this will still be available. Like I'm trying to work on some things because I know that everybody don't work the same, type of schedule. Like my boy, my other friend Rob, he works a totally different schedule. So like I know he provides a lot of value too. So I'm gonna try to get him a little bit more active in here too. So but yeah, but this will be available. Like I told y'all before, like everybody that's in here now is gonna be free. But anybody after January 1st, yeah, nah. Because it's like we're providing too much value in here to not, you know, charge folks, even if it's just learning how to chart. Because you got a lot of folks that just don't know and understand that it's very basic things that you can use to kind of make a lot of money in the market. And it don't even have to be just from trading or, you know, anything like that. There's a lot of different stuff out there that we're going to be providing here. And like, yeah, I ain't gonna be doing it for free no more. So
the price don't went up.
yeah, man. Like Marlo said, the price of the brick going up. yeah, but that's it, man. Happy New Year to y'all, and you know, much love and prosperity, and you know, all the above, man. But this is recorded, so again, once we're done here, I'll go ahead and upload it. Hopefully by tonight, or yeah, by tonight it should be on the Discord. You got anything, bro?
No, I'm good, man.
Right.
If nobody don't have anything else, man, y'all know where to find the kid in the Discord. Like I say, I be low key with it. I still do stocks. You know, I throw a few in there every now and then if I find a setup that I really like. But other than that, you know, I'm just continue with the stack brick by brick with the Bitcoin, man. But if y'all have any questions about credit, Bitcoin, stocks, whatever, man, hit your ball up. I'm in the Discord daily, man. So that's all I got, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right, bro.
Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, y'all.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Yep. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.